The Ahankara topic is going on. Today we will discuss on verse number 27 of Atmabodha. Rajju sarpavadatmanam Rajju sarpavadatmanam Jivam jnatva bhayam bahet Jivam jnatva bhayam vahet Naham jiva paratmeti Naham jiva paratmeti Jnataschennirbhayo bhavet Jnataschennirbhayo bhavet. Together. Rajju sarpavadatmanam Jivam jnatva bhayam bhavet bhayam bahet Naham jiva paratmeti Jnataschennirbhayo bhavet. Rajju sarpavat, like a serpent in a rope, like a snake on a rope. Atmanam, oneself. Jivam, as the ego. Jnatva, considering. Bhayam, fear. Vahet, is overcome by. Na, not. Aham, I. Jivaha, the individuality or the ego, you can tell. Paramatma, the supreme self. Iti, thus. Jnataha, having understood. Chet, if. Nirbhayaha, fearless. Bhavet, becomes. So it's a translation. Just as the person who regards a rope as a snake is overpowered by fear, so also if one considering oneself as the jiva or ego or individual self is powered by or overcome by fear. The egocentric individuality in us becomes fearless by realizing that it is not a jiva but the supreme self. Clear? So now the prose order we will discuss. Rajju sarpavat atmanam jivam gyatva. See, so beautiful. Rajju sarpavat, like the snake on a rope. Atmanam, atma ko, jivam gyatva. When any individual understands or misunderstands Atma as Jiva, how? As we misunderstand a rope as a snake, what happened? Jivatma bhayam bahet. So the individual starts feeling fear inside. Aham na jivaha. Kintu Paramatma. I am not the individual jiva, but I am that supreme self. Iti jnataha, after knowing this chit, tarhi nirbhayaha bhave. Only if you want to be free from fear, you have to know your essential nature, that you are Atma. Clear? So, what is the detailed discussion on it? That in semi-dark place, if there is any rope or a piece of garland or anything else, in that there no modification happens, but in our mind there is some modification due to our old vasanas. We see something else which is not there. Likewise, we are the supreme being devoid of any sins, any trouble, any taint, any problem, any disease, any anxiety, any doubt, any depression. But we identify with this body, mind, and intellect and finite ourselves with the time, space, and causality, and become very much anxious. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? And we die in fear and in each and every moment. That is called Bhayam Vahet. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 1.4.2, it is clearly mentioned, Dvitiyat Vai Bhayam Bhavati. If you consider any second element apart from Atma, there is fear. There should be fear. In Taittiriya Upanishad 2.7.1, in the mantra it is there, Yada Hyeshaha Etasmin. There it is there, Udaram Antaram Kurute Athatasya Bhayam Bhavati. In avidya, in ignorance, an anatmadarshi means who doesn't see Atma as himself or doesn't recognize himself as Atma, he becomes fearful in this universe, which is nothing but Brahman, the same consciousness alone. In Kenopanishad 2.5, it is there, Nached iha avedin mahati vinashtihi. If anyone doesn't strive to know, doesn't become qualified to know about the own self, that he is that supreme consciousness, he gets destroyed and he suffers from the disease, various sorrows like birth and death, and you know better than me. So what is the medicine? Aham na jivaha kintu paramatma iti jnatah chet. I am not the Jiva. I am that Akhanda Advitiya Satchidananda Swarupa Paramatma. I am that partless, one without a second, existence, consciousness, bliss, the Supreme Self, Paramatma alone. Who will tell that? Guru will tell that. And we must have to have Shraddha or full faith in Guru and Shastra, that they are my ultimatum. Because Guru is Shastramaya. He is the Guru, he is the Acharya who has received the Parampara, Siksha, traditional teachings which has come eternally from Sadashiva and who practices it, who preserve it, and who spread it. So Guru has no his own words. Guru is who? Guru is he or she who speaks the Shastra as it is. And we must have to have 200%, 500% faith. Because what is the main struggle in our sadhana? The conflict between what we experience and what we know through Shastra or Guru. That is the main struggle. Other than there is no struggle. What Guru says? Guru says, Tattvamasi. You are that. Mahavakya. The great sentence. Okay. So, aham na jivaha kintu paramatma iti jnataha chet. What will happen if we keep faith in Guru's word? We will strive to realize that truth. And then, tarhi nirbhayaha bhavet. That is the guarantee of Shruti Mata. In Shvetasvatara Upanishad 1.11 it is told, Jnatva devam sarva pasapahanihi. Sarva pasaha apahanihi kshinaihi kleshaihi janma mrityu prahanihi. He is that blessed one, rarest one, effulgent one, Dvutiman, Swayam Prakash, who is that disciple who can know himself as Paramatma, the Supreme Self. What happens? There is the destruction of all worldly bondages. And that small ego goes me and mine, you and yours. He becomes homogeneous to everyone else. Then avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. That pancha klesha, that 5 sufferings. Avidya, ignorance, asmita, that abhimana, jealousy, anger, any running away mentality out of dislikes, and delusion. And he goes beyond birth and death. Iha ched avedidатha satyamasti. Kenopanishad 2.5. Atha ched avedida atha satyamasti. If anyone gets that Atma Jnanam, the self-knowledge, in this very body, then in this very body, he can know Atma as himself. And what is the result of that knowing? In this body itself, while living in this body, he gets the ultimate liberation, ultimate freedom, moksha, not after death. Mundakopanishad 3.2.9, what it says? Brahma Veda, Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahma Veda, Brahma Eva Bhavati. I am that Brahman. That firm conviction comes and he goes beyond all fears. In Svetasvatar Upanishad 6.20, it is there, Yada charmavad akasham veshtaishyanti manavaha tada devam avijñāya dukkhasyanto bhavishyati. If a person can roll up the sky like a mattress, if it is possible, then only it is possible that without knowing himself as Atma, he will be free from all fears, all anxiety, all doubts, all depression, all everything else, all bondages. Means it is not possible. It is only possible if anyone says, no, I do 100,000 times japa every day else. Why I won't be liberated? I do whole day puja, feeding the God, sleeping, giving a good sleep, good bed, good everything else, good ambience. I do meditation hours after hours. I do stotra, chanting all the time. Why I won't be able to be liberated? Without self-knowledge, liberation is not possible, not possible, not possible. It is impossible, like rolling up the sky, whole sky like a mattress, yoga mattress. What is the Smriti Pramana? In Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, 29th sloka it is there. Jnatva mam shantim richanti. He alone gets the ultimate serenity, ultimate calmness in mind. When he knows me as himself, means my consciousness and his consciousness, my substratum and your consciousness and your substratum is one. Then only a person gets the ultimate shanti. So, suppose an iron ball and fire. Somebody is frustrated, like, frightened, bhayam vahe, because I am always fearful and anxious. What will happen to me in old age? It is another fear. Another fear, if I die, what will happen to my samsara? Wow, wow, wow. As if you have born with your samsara. What will happen to my children? If I don't give them marriage, my daughter will be helpless. In Bhagavatam, this story is there. I'm just simplifying it with a little bit. You know, once Avadhuta is going to beg some alms. He knocked at the door. One beautiful lady came out with a oozing breast. Avadut was like, really, he was like a baby. He asked her, why your breasts are so bigger? The woman understood that he is a baby. He told my son, I am pregnant. So my breast has filled up with the milk. And then and there the dispassion come and a lot of deeper love came inside Avadhuta. That when that baby will come, God has preserved its food within the mother. One lizard, he was laying eggs and something like that. And that mother lizard went or died when from that egg inside the newly born lizard came out. Then and there it started finding food. So everyone is separate jiva have come here to suffer our karma through someone else whom we call our parents. Pay respect to your parents. But this is the ultimatum, this is the reality. Who are you to be worried that what will happen if I die? And in this false anxiety, doubt, depression, fear, we die each and every moment. The solution is only one, na aham jiva. I am not jiva. I am that supreme being, Paramatma. Jataschit. Once I know this, then only nirbhayaha bhavet. Jiva has problem. It's a wrong notion. Please write it down. Jiva has problem. It's a wrong notion. So what is the right conviction? Jiva is problem. Your jivatva is problem. Your wrong conclusion about yourself that I am an individual, it is a problem. Individual has no problem. My sense of individuality itself is a problem. As a jiva, I am never free. As Atma, I am ever free. Now the choice is yours. As Jiva, I am never free. As Atma, I am ever free. That Jnatva, by knowing this. Here, from Jnanam, Jnatva has come. Atmanam Jivam Jnatva in this sloka. Here, Jnatva is Ajnanam. Okay. What is bondage? All such bondage, I am bound with my son, my husband, my wife, my mobile phone, my house, my cars, my properties, my designation. All such bondage, what is that? Bondage is just lack of proper knowledge. Bondage means lack of proper knowledge. When is rope is known in anything else apart from the rope, instead of rope, problem starts. Likewise, when Brahman is known as anything else instead of Brahman, it creates fear. So I have to know rope as rope. I have to know Brahman as Brahman. We have a wrong notion that the snake will become a rope one day. Likewise, I will become Brahman one day by doing japam, meditation, upasana, stotram, chanting, so on, penance, then austerity, severe austerity, I will become a Brahman. This is a wrong notion. You are Brahman right now. You are liberated right now. You are mukta. Aham Brahman Asmi. I am that supreme self beyond anything else, devoid of any sins and merits and any impurities. I am that existence, consciousness, and supreme bliss alone right now. Out of ignorance, we forget our own identity. And due to projection and identification with the wrong thing, superimposition happens. Superimposition or adhyasa means projection and identification. This is the one word definition of superimposition or adhyasa. Superimposition means projection and identification. So our main sadhana, main practice will be Sravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasan. But what is the aim? To realize I am ever Brahman. Not I was Brahman or I will be Brahman. Clear? So now some just little is remaining. What is that? Some. The superimposition of a snake on a rope takes place only when the existence of the rope is not perceived. Just as the vision of the snake gives us perceptions of the details of the snake, the pain of its bite and the fear of death that will be caused by the appearance of snake in place of the rope, so too once a misapprehension starts in its own imagination, it multiplies into 1,000 baseless notions, and the individual under his own delusions suffers and consequences thereof or hereof. Now the thing is, in the non-apprehension of the self, the misapprehension of the gross body, mind, and so on are perceived as real, and in this misunderstanding, the confused ego is born to suffer its own illusory sorrows. We are not limited individuals as we take ourselves to be. There is a limitless region of experiences beyond what is known at present. At this is, shut out from us because of our self-centered existence. Because of our self-centered existence. When the realization of the true nature of the self comes to one, even as mere theoretical knowledge, he who has till then in a perpetual state of fear and sorrow seems to wake up from his own limited existence and rediscovers himself to be the blissful self which is all pervading and eternal. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.